Hi everyone, welcome back to Stitching with Samantha. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a little personalized romper for babies. So this is such a fun gift for baby shower gifts or just thinking of you gifts for new moms. I'm going to be making this for my friend and I'm going to be putting his little name on the front and I'm going to be using backstitch. So this is going to be a really fun beginner tutorial just to add these little 1-inch names to really anything you want to personalize for babies. I sell these in my Etsy shop, Stitching with Samantha. I'll link it in this video. If you're ready, let's go. You're first going to need a onesie or romper to embroider. I got this one from Amazon. It has little buttons at the bottom and it is this really soft jersey material. I'll link it in my video description. I love this one. You're also going to need a name printed out on water-soluble, self-adhesive stabilizer. I have this stabilizer linked in my Amazon, but I also sell these in my shop and I mail them to you, and they also come with the needle and the thread. But you can also find a font online and print them out yourself on the stabilizer, so that's completely up to you. My kit makes it convenient because it comes with all the supplies and you just need basically a piece of clothing to start on. But I include a DMC embroidery thread and we're going to be using all 6 strands today. And then for the needle, I just have a size 5 embroidery needle. This is my favorite size to use on these types of projects and it's included in my kit as well. You can use any scissors you have at home to cut your thread off, but I just have these little embroidery scissors that I love for this kind of project. To prep our project, we're first going to take the water-soluble name pattern off of the backing and we're going to stick it in the middle of our sweatshirt. So you can measure it and make it really technical. I kind of like to free eye it, totally up to you. So you're going to go ahead and press it down, make sure all the bubbles are out. We're now going to take our DMC embroidery thread and from the side with the number, we are going to pull about an arm's length of thread. And then we're going to cut it and we're going to use all 6 strands. So you're just going to pinch the end between your fingers and we're going to take it through the eye of our size 5 needle. If you purchase my full kit on Etsy, I actually do include a needle threader which can help with this part, but it's really not that bad. Just go ahead and, like I said, pinch it in between your fingers and then take it through the eye of the needle. And then we're going to pull it so that it hangs down about 1/4 of the way. I'm going to show you that in a second. And then on the longer end, we are going to tie our knot. You can tie a knot at the end of your thread like normal, but I'm going to show you the way that I like to do it, which is wrapping it around my fingers, rolling my fingers, and pulling it to the end. I just learned this when I first began embroidery and I still use it today, but you can do just a normal knot. Now we're ready to start stitching. So we're going to be using backstitch. So to start a backstitch, we're going to come up at a natural starting point in the ladder. It doesn't really matter where. We're going to pull up our needle and thread completely, and then we're going to skip forward about 1/4 of a centimeter, and we're going to bring our needle and thread back down to the back of the fabric. I'm going to bring you a little closer here for the second step. So we're going to skip ahead another 1/4 of a centimeter, bringing our needle and thread up completely. And then once it's taut, we're going to bring our needle back down in the same exact point where our last stitch ended. So there's going to be no gap in between your stitches. And then you're going to pull tight. That is called backstitch because we're going back to our previous stitch. So we're going to do that again, skip forward another 1/4 of a centimeter, and then bring your needle back down at the end of our previous backstitch. And then we're going to pull that one tight. We're now going to switch directions. We're going to bring our needle up on the curve of the C, and then we're going to bring it back down right beside or a little bit underneath our previous line of back stitches on the other side. And then we're going to pull tight. Remember, we're doing this so that there's no visible gaps. Now that you've switched directions, you can continue your back stitch just like normal. It's important to try to make your back stitches the same length every time so that it looks uniform. And remember, when you're pulling tight, to pull it taut, but don't pull it so hard that it makes your stitches small and too tight. When I pull tight, I am pulling it taut, but I kind of smooth it out and I don't pull it so tight that it's pulling my, clothing. Once we finish our first letter, you're going to decide if it's a short distance to the next letter or if it's a long distance. So with these 2 letters, I'm just going to skip this short distance, so I'm not going to tie off my thread. I'm actually just going to skip over, and then I'll start doing my back stitches again. As you can see, it's not a long strand of thread on the back when I jumped over, so that's perfect. In a second, I will show you the other scenario where you have a long distance that you need to jump and what you can do. As you can see here, it was a short distance from the A to the L, so we did what we did before. But once I get to the end of this side of the L over here, I'm going to place my last back stitch. And then I have a long distance to jump from that tail of the L back to the middle where I need to continue my back stitch. So I'm actually going to come on the back of my clothing and I'm going to take my needle underneath my previous stitches. And I'm going to do that about 2 to 3 times so that I get over to the section where I want to continue stitching. And this is just a uniform way to make sure that we can skip to another section while also keeping the back nice and clean and not these long pieces of thread that can get caught. Now we can continue stitching our L, working our way up with back stitches, and once we get done with the L, we are going to have a long distance between the 2 letters. So I'm actually going to cut off my thread on the back and tie a knot, and then we can move to the next letter. To tie off our thread, you're going to first bring your needle underneath your previous stitches. You're going to pull tight, and then you're going to do that one more time, bring your needle underneath your previous stitches, pull tight. And then this next time, we're going to pull our needle underneath the stitches, but we're going to leave a little loop that we're going to bring our needle through. So we're going to pull our needle and thread completely through that loop, pull tight, and it'll pull it into a knot. And to be extra secure, I'm going to repeat that process. So I'm going to bring my needle underneath my thread another time, and then we're going to do the same thing, bring our needle underneath the thread, and then with that little loop, we're going to bring our needle and thread through, pull it into a knot, make sure it's tight, and then we're going to bring our needle underneath our stitches one last time so that everything lays flat, and then we're going to cut our thread. If your thread is running low, now would be a great time to switch out your thread for a new strand of thread, but if not, you can continue. You're going to go ahead and tie a knot and then start your back stitches again. I'm going to go ahead and stitch the rest of the pattern and then we'll come back. When you finish your name, we are then going to tie off our thread, and I'm going to show you that one more time. We're going to bring our needle underneath our previous stitches. Then we're going to do that same thing again, pulling our needle underneath and through the loop this time, pulling it tight into a knot. Then we're going to bring it underneath our stitches one more time and tie another knot, and then we're going to cut off our thread. And once we're done tying off our final letter, it's time to wash our project, and I'll show you how to wash off the stabilizer. Washing off stabilizer is a really important step that often gets overlooked. You want to make sure that you rinse for 3 to 5 minutes. Make sure that all the stabilizer is kind of coming off, and then at that point we're going to rub in some soap and just make sure that there's no ink bleeding or any discoloration from the yarn or the color of the clothing that you're using, and soap really helps so that you don't have these issues. So you can go ahead and rinse for 3 to 5 minutes with soap and water, and then once you're done, you have a beautiful keepsake. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. This is just such a fun way to add an easy personalization to any baby item. It's perfect for baby shower gifts, and just other gifts for the little boys and girls in your life. So if you enjoy this tutorial, let me know and tag me if you make your own baby items. Until next time, Stitchers.